need to welcome euphoria into your life?
Yeah, I really do need some euphoria.
Do this.
Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the first episode of The Sip this year. I'm Ryland Adams, of course, joined by...
Elizabeth Omuge.
Hello, hello.
Hi, baby. I miss you. I miss you so bad.
Do you really?
Yes. I'm not well without you.
know.
I am unwell.
I know every day Lizzie texts me and she goes, how many days till we can be together? I'm depressed without you.
It sucks.
It has
here
been the
without
longest
you.
we've ever... I think it's the longest we've ever been without each other since this podcast has started.
Yeah, and because of the holidays, we're like not even talking on the phone. It's too much.
And for other reasons. I'm like nervous.
Are you even following me on my locations? I haven't gotten
every
one
day.
sassy word. Oh, really?
Yeah, and all you do, you're always at home or you're at Orange Theory, like 5 minutes
I
from your
love
home.
that you're watching me. I was like, he doesn't even know where I am anymore.
Well, you don't
I'm,
go
like,
anywhere that
crying
I
a
need
little
to
bit.
question. Like, if you were somewhere that I was concerned about or I was, like, jealous about, like, if I saw you somewhere fun. I haven't even seen you at, like, Runyon or Fryman Canyon to be like, oh, I
No.
wish I was hiking with you. No
It's been-
text-worthy locations.
I hiked Fryman on Christmas Eve, and it's like landslide city. Like, it's just like the mudslides are going to bring her down. My hiking shoes are still in front of my house. They're so muddy, I can't bring them inside.
Oh, yeah, the rain in California. We didn't even get snow until after... Well, it snowed a little bit on Christmas Eve, but then, like, New Year's Eve is when we got our first big blizzard, and now it's been cold and snowy ever since. And I'm like, this could have been all month of December, please. And now I'm just kind of like...
I want to come to the snow. I saw Shane sledding. My mother-in-law got me gloves that I can text in to wear in Colorado because that bitch has been watching the podcast against my requests on Christmas
yeah,
with
I
my
did get it.
mother-in-law. Go ahead.
No, I got a scream text about you worrying about her listening to some of your stories.
I got this gift from her, and like under her breath, she's like, you know, for the podcast that you do in Colorado with her, like something that just like was more than just knowing what I'm up to, like something that indicated she listens. And then she like under her breath felt caught, and she was like, I may have listened to just one time.
Why did you direct her to not listen? Like, is she not allowed?
Yeah, she's not allowed.
Oh my gosh.
Get out
Well,
of here, Marge.
I'll address the elephant in the room. We're not
Yeah.
together because of me. And unfortunately, Shane and I both got coronavirus. The Omicron has hit us strong. I'm on like day 9 though. So, and in my research, like 90% of people test negative within a week. So I'm probably no longer contagious, but I need to get a negative test before I can re-enter the world of any sorts. And honestly, for me, the most scary part about it is that I'm in close proximity to my grandma, and that's like the scariest thing. But it's been 9 days, and I haven't seen them for that whole duration because as soon as I started feeling a little wonky, we like parted ways. And luckily, no one in the family is sick, so I don't know how Shane and I were the ones to get it. I guess, who knows? They say that Omicron is like highly, highly contagious, and I honestly thought I just had... What?
Keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
Oh, I just thought I had a sinus infection, and we were supposed to be in California last Friday, and it was like coming up on like a day and a half before we were supposed to leave, and I was like, well, I have a really bad sinus infection just in case I should go get tested. And I couldn't find tests anywhere because of Omicron. It's like impossible to find a test. And like even the rapid ones are out of stock everywhere. So I called like a doctor on demand, and I was like, well, because remember in the summer I had like the craziest sinus infection that I could not kick. And it was all the same symptoms. So I called the doctor on demand, and he's like, well, I've had 5 other people this week that told me they had sinus infections that then tested positive for coronavirus. And so I was like, okay, I'll go find a test. So I went and paid for a test, and it did turn out positive. And so, I mean, because I wasn't going to leave the house or fly or anything until I knew what was actually going on. But like the first thing that gave me the inkling that it was coronavirus instead of a sinus infection was that when I got my vaccines, I felt like I was freezing from the inside out. Like I don't know, it's like more intense than chills. It was like my whole body was like freezing, and it was
I had the
like
same
going
thing.
to
Like
freeze.
I was like crying in bed, shaking when I got the vaccine.
And so I got that sensation a couple days into what I thought was the sinus infection. And then I was like, oh. And then after I tested positive, I had they are migraines, but even like more severe because it felt like 1,000 needles were like poking into my head for hours. Like I could not kick a headache for 3 days. And then I was very sinusy. And then it felt like it moved downwards a little bit, but not like... I have my energy back and my like zest for life again. Like I'm finally back to being like, oh my gosh, maybe I want to exist again, which is good. But then Shane came down and got it, and it was his was a little more intense than mine. And it's interesting. Like I was horrified because like we're both vaccinated and I was still really bad. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh. And this is the less severe because like Delta, Omicron, or the previous predecessors were taking people out for like a month. Yeah. And the lungs and everything. So, I mean, not ideal. I'm just obviously not ideal. I'm just so grateful that my family didn't come in contact with it somehow. And I'm hoping that within the next week or so that we can test negative and come out to California, because that's where we were supposed to be together in person right now, filming where you are. But the world had different plans, and I'm grateful for its timing, and like in that it was after all of the holiday season. It would have been a real bummer to, and I'm sure it's ruined a lot of people's everything.
Yeah.
It's like raging about right now.
Every time I open up Instagram, another person's like, I've got COVID. I saw a lot of sad, lonely Christmas posts. Like,
see, and that's heartbreaking.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know what they're going to do, because yesterday I saw that it was like averaging 700,000 positive tests a day. And that's for the people that can get tests. Like it was a full-time job to find a test right now. So the amount of people that aren't getting tested, or because they can't find one, or because they have at-home tests and they're not recorded, I don't even know what this means for all of us. And is it back down? And
it just means that it's going to be here. You know what I mean? It's like what they've been saying since the beginning of it all. Like it's here. It's going to continue to evolve. And thank God it's evolving for the lesser. Cause like like you were saying, the previous iterations were awful, awful. And it's getting slowly more diluted. But I think it's definitely going to become something that we, exist with, like the flu.
Yeah. And it's hard because now, like in Colorado, it was honestly really nice when we moved here because cases were so low. This was before Omicron had happened, and there really weren't masks until just a little bit ago, even in shopping and stuff, because the state had just deemed that it wasn't necessary. And so but now I'm terrified again, like now, but masks are back in place in Colorado now that Omicron has surged. But it's just like it's kind of made me scared to leave the house again.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I also think that like for a little bit now you'll be the most protected you've been because you're vaxxed and you have the antibodies. Yeah, I mean, they're saying people are getting Omicron twice, so that's what's going to suck. Is if don't manifest that.
I'm not manifesting it. That's what I was reading. But and leading up to that week, sorry, this is like me central for the first few minutes, but we'll move on.
That's okay. It's a serious topic.
But before that, like leading up to that, I really had like the post-holiday blues. Like I was just really going through it for some reason, like mentally. And I'm not like, yes, when it started getting cold a little bit, I was like, I have what feels like seasonal depression for a few days. And then, but like this time felt a little different. And now I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh, is that just like my body ramping up to be sick, or was I already sick? But I think what had happened for me specifically, and I think like for a lot of people going into the new year, I'm not even like, I need to set these resolutions and make them and stay on them ever. Like I'm not setting a daily resolution for myself, but I think last year shaped out to be like such a surprising relief in a lot of sense. Like I found joy on the internet again. I'm enjoying the vlog channel. I'm enjoying the podcast. And then I was feeling a little burnt out towards the end of the year though. So then I felt like I didn't like, oh, now I have to do it all again, you know, like, how am I going to do all of this again? So I think like the new year being the hard reset was like driving me nuts a little bit. And then just since it was cold, I was sick, and it felt like I had no motivation to work because I was sick. So then I was like just spiraling into this downward.
I think that's also the universe saying, chill the fuck out. Like, take this time, be sick, don't work. Like, chill out. You know what I mean?
It did make me sit on the couch for the first time since my early 20s. I like picked up a journal again and was like, okay, where do I want to go? Where, because this whole year's been like going so fast, going at a million, like moving, doing all these things. And now we're finally settling. So I was like, when I thought about it, I haven't journaled since my early 20s and like thought about what direction I wanted my life to go. So I picked back up a journal and I was like, I'm in my I'm 30, and like, where do I want my 30s to go? And like, what do I want for my life? And it was like, you know, it was
kills me. What I think is so funny, and so specifically you, is on our Google Doc, you're like, figured out my 30s. Oh no, it says to figure out. I thought you said I figured it out, and I was like, bitch, no, you didn't.
But you know, I feel like I did. I feel like I did, because when I was 20 years old and I was like sitting in my sad apartment on New Year's Eve alone because I had closed one restaurant and had to open the next day, I had like written out all of these things that I had dreamed my life would become. And maybe they're not all exactly how I planned, but I did accomplish what I had set out to do. And I hadn't done that when I turned 30. And so I thought it was like really nice to really sit down and think of the direction I want my life to go in every aspect.
Right. Cute.
So that's me.
I love that. I love that you get COVID and that's your realization. And I would like begrudgingly watch Tick Tick Boom because I'm not a huge Andrew Garfield fan. And I was like, oh my God, maybe I like Andrew Garfield. Maybe I'm inspired by Tick Tick Boom.
Was it good?
I really liked it. Yeah, it captivated me. It kept my attention. I ended it feeling mad inspired. I loved it.
Great. I'll have to watch it. There's a lot on my to-watch list. I don't know if you'll like it. It's a musical. Right, oh, never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really
just
your bag.
Missed me.
Yeah, missed me with that musical shit. But I also had a fucked up start to the new year. Like, really bad. Like, really, really bad. Day one, literally, day one, I popped a tire. I had to go get my tire replaced. Day
were
two.
You driving? Wait,
I was driving.
Hold on. And were you on a freeway? That's like a big fear of mine, is being on a freeway and driving and your tire pops mid-drive.
Yeah, thankfully that's not my story. I was driving home from Orange Theory because, as you've already stated, I've only gone 2 places, which was home and to the gym. So I was on my way home from Orange Theory, like on speakerphone with my girlfriend Mal, just like dumb bitch is talking on the phone while they're driving, and then I went bam and smacked my tail end into a corner, and it was like pow. And I just like was like, ha. She's like, that was so loud. What was that? And I was like, I just hit the shit out of a curb. No big deal. But I was a block away from the house. And then she's like, it sounds bad. Like, your car sounds fucked. And I was like, it does sound gnarly, doesn't it? Because it was like, she's like, that sounds like you have a flat tire. So I parked. I was like, should I just go home? She's like, no, if you have a flat tire, pull over, you dumb bitch. So I pulled over. Sure enough, popped ass tire.
So it was just bare.
No, it was just like, I have a picture, I'll send it to you, but it looked like a claw, like a talon had gotten it, and like the hubcap's all scratched up and shit. And then when I took it to Costco to get a new tire, because I got a Costco gift card for Christmas, which I blew it on my fucking tire. The guys were like, what happened? And I was like, oh, a honey badger came out of nowhere. Just my God. Tire. They were like, no, it didn't. This looks like you hit a curb. And I was like, yeah, well, if my husband asks, it was a fucking honey badger and you mind your own business.
How fast were you going when you hit a curb?
Not fast, like, because I'm not, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't know. But when I called my friend Haley, she was like, I called my friend Haley, I was like, oh, I have to get a new fucking tire. She's like, did you go too fast around a curb? And I was like, how did you know? Because I was just with her in Arizona seeing the baby. And she was like, you were scaring the shit out of me going around corners. So I figured that was bound to happen soon. Cut to day two. Day two of the new year. My house floods with shit and piss sewage water that's seeping up out the top of my toilets and from the bases up from the drains in my showers. Flooded my bathroom, flooded my bedroom, out to the hallways. Just a fucking river of shit and piss in my new house.
So coming up through the toilets was shit.
Like out the top of the bowl. Out the top of the bowl. Like
And
it
so-
made no sense. So I'd like, the only thing I know how to do is like turn the water off. And it's like, bitch, this isn't a water problem. This is a sewage problem.
If only I knew how to turn my water off.
So then we had to call an emergency guy to come out and fix it. And he's like, oh, because it's been raining so much in California, like we've been having calls out to every house all day. He stuck a camera in our big main drain. And sure enough, like a tree had gotten like its roots got robust from the rain and it broke through our pipes. So there was a blockage and all of our waste was coming back up through the drains when we would run our washing machine. And I was running our washing machine.
I can only, like, if my dogs have an accident in the house or throw up, it's like, I can't even imagine the smell or the cleaning.
Oh, it was fucked. It was fucked.
Was it all hands on deck? Did the boys help as well?
Oh, yeah. It was all hands on deck. James's house got flooded, too, in the back. And this is after James has been dealing with the flooding of his studio. So he has an art studio in our backyard that's off of the guest house that he lives in. And because of the rain and all the drain pipes were clogged and water was flooding in through under the front door into his studio, which he has like lined with carpet so that it's warmer to work in the winter. And so that's been a nightmare. And there's just worms everywhere. And Mr. Bubs is a worm collector. So he's been like, he knows where all these worm colonies are, which is super disturbing. Like Bubs will go out in the morning and like flip a rock over and like millions of worms are like wiggling. I was eating my lunch in the living room the other day and James was like, he has something in his mouth and it's like a cluster of dried worms. And he like rolls in them. He collects them, puts them in one place and then rolls in them. And it's too much for me. And then on day 3, I woke up at 2:00 in the morning to Jelly violently shaking. And she shook from 2:00 in the morning on the 3rd until yesterday. Literally, she started throwing up. And we to this day don't know what was wrong with her, but it was like she was just sick, like people sick.
And did you take her to the cancer doctor? Is she still cancer clear?
We took her to the vet and they had nothing to say, which is incredibly irritating because it just felt like they were like, so what's happening? Okay, well, come get her. And it's just like, what did I just pay you for? Like, did you even touch her? Like, you know what I mean? So they didn't have an answer for us. They gave her a shot of electrolytes. She stopped throwing up. I've been feeding her with a syringe, basically, with like mashed up puppy food, and she's been slowly getting better. So like she's been playing in the backyard. I've been sleeping on the floor with her.
I know. I was gonna say you're the best mom. Like I get pictures from Lizzie just on the floor with Jelly, and she's been sleeping there for what, a week on the ground.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired, bro. Fucking tired. Scream crying too. Scream crying at Orange Theory. Did I send you my scream crying pictures? In Orange Theory, I'm like, they can't tell I'm crying because I have a mask on. Like, I'm just like, like the whole time.
It's been
like,
rough. Yeah.
It's been. So I went and got my nails done.
Oh my God. Oh wait, I can't really see them with the quality.
I'll send you a picture, but it's like orange, the spectrum. But Jelly is doing much better. She's been eating prime rib. Joe went out and bought her steaks that he cooked special for her.
That is so cute.
And we slept in the bed last night, and she's not trembling anymore. And we're gonna go see her good doctor on Thursday.
That's good. Yeah.
So things are turning around.
I go, I have bad news, and she goes, me too. We're just sharing our bad news, and we're like, wow. But you know, I'm not taking this as like a projection of the year. I'm gonna let this be behind us and start.
This is a purging.
Yeah. We're just making sure that everything bad gets out the window now. But it seems like I know a few people, other people that have also had just really rough starts to the year. But here's to, turning it around with my hot throat coat tea.
Yeah, it's all going to get better from here. There are a couple of other funny things that I did want to talk about. First of which is I would like to apologize to you and everyone in the comment section of our podcast.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait. I love this, and I can't wait for it, but we do have a sponsor for today's video, which just so happens to be DoorDash. Now, we know getting back into the new year, you have back-to-back meetings, you have errands to run, and you have chores to take care of, and the secret to clearing your to-do list is a little help from DoorDash. You can get your dinner, your household essentials, and everything on your grocery list delivered. Along with the restaurants that you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. You can get drinks, you can get snacks, you can get household items, and the best thing is it all comes within under an hour. So if you're craving that late night ice cream, which is always me, or if you forgot that key ingredient to dinner and you don't want to run back out to the store, or your go-tos, like your favorite nationals restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, or Cheesecake Factory, they have over 300,000 partners, and ordering is easy. And you can have your items left safely outside your door when you choose contactless delivery. So for a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SIP. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code SIP. Don't forget, that's code SIP for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. I love you, DoorDash, more than anything, and you've saved me this week for sure.
All right, Elizabeth. Every week.
Even when you're here, all we're doing is we're just DoorDash girls.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to just make a quick amends because when you outed me as a nightmare with my shopping cart in Target, I was like, no.
Yeah, we all know.
Fuck off. Okay, again, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I went to Target with Haley, my baby mama, and she was mortified by my cart etiquette, and I felt it. For the first time I felt it, I was like, damn.
And did you realize it, or did she point it out separately?
She had yet to see the episode because it hadn't aired yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the behavior. Oh, no, it hadn't aired yet because I had already been defending myself in the comment section like a maniac. I was like, actually, like, he's making it sound worse than it is. I'm not really that bad. Like, I'm really aware of where I'm leaving my cart. Like, I'm not just that person. And I could feel Haley being like, fucking stop what you're doing because it's awful to be with. Like, so sorry.
The worst part is that you were defending yourself in the comments.
I know. I get it.
But I love that you're becoming self-actualized, that you admitted this to me when you didn't actually have to. Like, I could have been blissfully unaware and you could have just fixed your behavior in private. So,
oh, no, I had a moment. I had a public moment where I went, oh, Ryland was right and I gaslit him. And speaking of gaslighting.
Oh, no.
I was sleeping in bed with my head at the foot to pet Jelly to like comfort her. And Joe farted on my fucking head. Hella loud, bro. I'm like crying. I'm praying to God, like, please God help Jelly. And all of a sudden it was on my head,
this is
bro.
Jelly or Joe?
Joe rips ass on my fucking head.
Why is his ass on your head?
Because my head was at the base of the bed.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And then it was so loud, he woke himself up, turned around and screamed at me, "What are you doing here?" Because Joe's been screaming in his fucking sleep, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Joe will go to sleep. No, it's not even about anything. He goes, ah, all night.
You need to check in on his dreams.
I don't know that I want to know. Sounds terrifying.
You're sleeping on the floor because you want to, not because you have to.
Literally.
Oh,
Jelly's
no.
fine. She's back in the bed, but I'm in my office because I'm fucking scared.
Okay, before we get into some hot topics, you are also a godmother, which is exciting. I was offended on your behalf because I thought it was like, well, I don't know the etiquette of godmotherism. And Lizzie like scream texted me saying like, "Oh my God, I'm a godmother. I just got asked to be a godmother." And I was like, are you an afterthought? Like, isn't it a little late to be asking you to be a godmother? Does it not happen before the child's birth?
Honestly, I don't know because this is the first time I've been asked. But it's
Did you
also
ask
like
if you were the backup?
no, because well, when I told my dad, he's like, "Did she have a choice?" Because I'm such an insistent ass bitch. You know me. You've met me. I was like, "Yes, she had a choice, and I was gonna be nice to whoever she picked, but I was probably gonna be a bitch behind the scenes." But yeah, so here's where it gets a little bit muddy. Like, godmother is a specific term, like within Catholicism. So it means that it is the godmother's duty to, encourage and participate in the child's relationship with God, I think, within the Catholic Church. And so it's their duty to be part of the baptism. So generally, I think godmothers get asked near the point of baptism. So I am not Catholic. Haley is not Catholic. Her baby daddy is, and his mother has requested that the baby be baptized. So I'm not sure if I don't know that I'll be recognized as a godmother in the Catholic Church because I myself am not baptized. But in this sense, it means that I am like her auntie who will be part of her life forever. And if anything should ever happen to her parents, I would become her guardian.
Right. Which is a huge responsibility and undertaking.
Well, that's my baby.
I know. You birthed it yourself.
I take her to the fridge and I show her what's inside.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to kick us off with some things that we've
some more sad
realized?
shit?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So first off, I would like to say R.I.P. Betty White. So tragic. Honestly, I could cry right now.
And they say it comes in threes, and
and then Sidney Poitier. Awful. And then Bob Saget, like I'm covered in chills. Like, oh my God.
I could not believe it. And like with Bob Saget, he was young. I think he's only 65.
Yeah.
And he was just a couple of nights ago doing a live show for over 1,000 people. So it's just, I don't think.
And thank God he was. He went out doing what he loved, being on, like, loving being back on stage, getting to tour. And I think that that's a beautiful blessing. And so one positive thing is that on Betty White's 100th birthday, when on January 17th, on the day that she would have been 100, everyone should donate to an animal shelter of their choice in Betty White's name because she was a huge animal advocate. So it's like, cheers, Betty. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. And then I also saw on TikTok that Betty White lived through 17 leap years, which if you put it together, the day she died was like 2 weeks out from her 100th birthday. So technically speaking, were it not for leap years, Betty would have hit 100.
Wow.
So we get, she made it.
Gosh.
I was like at Orange Theory when my phone buzzed with that notification, and I just like went silent and like started welling up with tears, this is the first time I felt that way about a stranger. And the guy behind the counter was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. Betty White just passed." He's like, "I know." And we had a moment there. And then he very sincerely was like, "You should do this workout for Betty." And I was like, God.
Oh my God. Sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but that is pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous. I was like, you know what? I will. I'm going to hit it hard for Betty today. It was very weird. And then I went home and did like Harry Potter Legos. I've been on a Harry Potter Lego kick.
I didn't even know you did Legos.
Oh, I do Legos, girl.
Really?
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay.
I like doing little stop motion with my Legos. It's a private thing because it's a little embarrassing that a sober woman in her 30s likes to fuck with Legos.
No, I mean, I would like to see the stop motion videos.
Oh, I don't make videos. I just take pictures and then flip through them really fast by myself. It's sad. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, let's move down your docket of to-dos, because I've kind of been, while I've been doing nothing, I haven't really been afloat and abreast of what's going on, but I'm going to let you take the lead on the rest of what's happening.
Oh, this is old news, but I'm fucking obsessed with Tom Holland and Zendaya. I love Tom Holland. I think he's the funniest, sweetest little guy I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't mean to patronize his size when I said little guy. I call most men little guys, just for the record. But Tom Holland, you are a a hugely beautiful human being, inside and out.
Yeah, he is
Protect
gorgeous.
Tom Holland at all cost.
And what was going around about him and, was it Nicki Minaj dating?
No.
Did you not? Oh,
It
I don't know.
couldn't
It was
be.
headlines. And no, I mean, it's hard for me to tell. Well, I guess they definitely are dating. Like, it's confirmed that Tom and Zendaya are dating, correct?
Oh, absolutely. There was this really cute moment. This is super old news, but there was this really sweet moment on the red carpet at the Spider-Man premiere. He's being interviewed, and Zendaya is about to make her big entrance, and he stops the interview, and he goes, "Can you hold on just 1 second? Zendaya just got here, and she's about to do something really cool." And you can see him on camera watching as she comes in, and he's just like... And he has all these sweet moments where it's like, oh, girl tried to wrap her arm around his arm while they were doing an interview for Spider-Man, and she's a cast member of Spider-Man, and it was totally a platonic move on her part, I'm sure. Like, I don't think she was disrespecting the relationship, but it is something that another person might feel who's in the relationship disrespected by. And Tom very politely unhooks his arm and puts his arm around her shoulder and around his other castmate's shoulder and goes, "So where's Zendaya?" Like, he just is always doing, like, the right fucking thing, except for spoiling every movie, which I also identify with because I can't keep a fucking secret either, Tom.
What do you mean? Did he spoil what happened in this Spider-Man?
Oh, Tom Holland is famous for accidentally just telling the press everything about a Marvel movie plot, to the point that when he gets screenplays now, they black out the characters that are opposite him in the scene, so he doesn't even know who he's going to be working with, so he can't spoil it.
My God. Well, there was a lot to spoil in this movie. Did you go see Spider-Man?
Yeah. Oh, I fucking loved it. And I don't give a shit about Spider-Man.
And I don't give a shit about the MC. I mean, I don't not give a shit about it. I just haven't indulged myself inside of it.
Did you just call it the MC?
MCU? Isn't that what it is? And what is it?
No, it's the Marvel universe. But when you say MC, are you mixing DC and Marvel?
Yeah.
See, yeah, you don't give a shit about it.
There's like
That's
a
fine.
Marvel something universe, right?
Yeah,
isn't
there's
there?
the Marvel
or that's
universe.
the DCU.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But there's also
See,
a Marvel. There's a Marvelverse too. There's both. You just made them.
Well,
it's fine.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fantastic, and I like them together too. It's hard for me to like compartmentalize Zendaya with like her in Euphoria and her in Spider-Man, which I guess is a testament to her acting and how fantastic she is in both. Because I did start watching. I haven't finished it yet because it was midnight, and I was like, I gotta go to bed. But did you start watching Euphoria?
Yes,
it's hard
I'm
to
so
believe they're
glad
the same
you did.
person.
I'm
Why?
so glad
you want to
watched.
do a little recap?
Well, I didn't think you would be watching it, but it's like, how
What do
did
you mean?
feel
I
about
watched
it?
the first season when it came out 5 years ago.
Okay.
It literally came out so long ago. And then you started watching Euphoria last year. That's why you feel like it's like a 1-2 bam. But it really hasn't been like that. And I wasn't about to go back and refresh myself on season 1, but I felt like they did a good job of like picking up from a place that like gradually led you to remember what was going on. What's your beef
Which
with
I
the
kind of
show?
hated about it. I hated
liked
that
it.
element of it because I feel
It
like
made
that's what. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just no. I want to hear what you're gonna say.
I feel like that's what the purpose of a previously on is for. So in our give me a recap of the season, but then give me a new season.
What I like about Euphoria is that obviously cinematically and visually, the
Stunning.
costumes, the outfits, it's gorgeous. So it's fun to watch. Even the editing and the sound design, it's just phenomenally put together. But it did make me like feel uncomfortable. Like it made me feel something which a lot of TV shows don't. You know what I'm saying?
Was it the amount of dicks within the first 5 minutes that really made you?
I mean, yeah, uncomfortable was one of the overwhelming feelings, but also just like, oh my gosh, the sister, and we won't spoil anything, but I just it made me feel uncomfortable, and I think that's something to be proud of.
Sure. Yeah, making you. Yeah,
I think if a piece of art can make you feel like I was like crawling in my skin at some point, and I was like, oh, good job, because that's what I think they were set it out to do.
I think that if this was directed by someone who put a parody tone on it, it would be fucking hysterical because it is so over the goddamn top. And then the other thing that I want to say is like, I personally found myself taken out of the experience by the characters' dialogue recaps. So in like within the first act of the episode, like every pivotal character like has like oh yeah, well last season I was fucking this guy, but it didn't fucking work out, so now I'm gonna fuck this guy. And it's like every single one of them had that sort of sentence.
Well,
and it's just,
give them the first episode to do it, because someone like me that watched it when it came out 5 years ago needed it. Because I wasn't not about to go spend 10 hours watching the first season again.
Exactly, but that's why every other TV show in the history of TV shows has the previously fucking on.
And
like,
I'm just telling you,
guys.
as a person who can't remember a movie they saw yesterday, I appreciated it. So maybe they're catering to me. Like Shane's
maybe you would have been better served from a previously fucking on instead of like a log line sentence.
There was one. There still was.
So if this was just incredibly an unnecessary thing for them to actually put in the episode, if there was because I didn't watch it live. I watched it on an app after the fact. So maybe I missed the previously on, but it's just like, you don't need, whatever. It's my beef with Sam Levinson or whatever, like, whatever. I love the Fez, though. I'm glad that we got to go a little bit deeper into those characters, Ash and Fez. Like, I think that was really sick. And, probably spoiling, but whatever. Because at first when it came on, I was like, God damn it, my app's all fucked up. They're playing a movie instead of the show I'm trying to watch. And then I realized, like, oh, this is particularly stylized. But I'm glad you watched it too.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching, of course. I love a good TV show.
Did you see Sex and the City?
No, because I haven't seen the first iteration of Sex and the City. So I just...
Yeah, I hadn't either. And let me tell you, this is fucking bad. And this is also old news. This show is so
very
bad.
Old news.
This is the first time where I've like felt bad for a fictional character. I'm like, God, I'm so sorry. There's a fucking cognitive being who's making you do this in front of the world, and it's not even a real person. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing for a fake character to have to live out in front of the world. What the fuck? And as a person who has a drinking problem, I'm fucking offended by the way that they're showing Cynthia fucking Nixon's character's drinking issues. That's crazy.
I can't weigh in because I haven't seen it. But
don't worry about it.
So is it similar to Emily in Paris, though, where it's like you just turn it on and you kind of just veg out on the couch and enjoy your stay?
No, this is... Okay, so let me hybridize a couple of my points, because I also watched Emily in Paris season 2, which I found so benign. I have no fucking thoughts on the matter. Literally.
Yeah, I did not get a call for an emergency report.
I could not give a flying fuck about Emily in Paris season 2, and season 1 incensed me. So, you know, for those of you suffering with COVID right now, if you're on the couch and taking naps, Emily in Paris is great to nap to. Second point. I was just going to say, back to now, then, what's the fucking Sex and the City? And Just Like That?
Yeah.
And Just Like That has replaced Emily in Paris season 1 for me on my top #1 most hated show of all fucking time.
Oh my God.
This is such trash. And sometimes Sarah Jessica Parker's character plays such a nasty bitch that I wonder why any one of these people hangs out in her fucking circle. Carrie sucks.
Interesting. Is it not fun to watch, though? Watch them be assholes?
I'm watching it because I'm sick in the head, because I have an emotional fucking problem. And I'm watching it because I hate it.
See, I went and I was like, maybe since I'm stuck on the couch anyways, I'll try Emily in Paris. And then I realized I didn't finish the last 2 episodes of the first season. I was like, I'm not doing this, because it's just, there's no world for me to do that. No.
Yeah.
But during coronavirus, I've been for some reason I've been watching just like a lot of Steph Pappas, and she's like a girl that just goes. I love her. She goes and she does mukbangs at different restaurants, and so like I've just like eaten with her every single day of my life.
Watched a lot of Shark Tank.
I don't know.
Okay,
it's up in the air.
I was just wondering.
And then, I've been watching like lots of clips of The Real, oddly, like the talk show The Real, and like probably 300 clips of The Real of all the girls just talking it out, you know. But I bring it up because one of their topics I found myself like talking to myself while I was going to the bathroom about it. I was still so heated by it.
What was it?
And the prompt was, do you find it rude when people show up to theme parties and didn't dress according to the theme?
Well, how do you feel about it?
First, I want your response.
I do find it rude, but I'm also the type of person who's totally fumbled that.
See,
Like, I'll not
I'm over here
understand a theme and I'll come up on the wrong theme and I'll stick out like a sore thumb.
I just think miss me with the fucking theme. Like, nobody
too much?
has time. Like, I can barely find clothes that I like, that I fit me well, that make me feel like I can just exist at the party to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're adding on top, like, I need to spend all day Saturday before I come to your party finding an outfit to go to your party. And then I'm so exhausted by the time I get to your party, I don't even want to be at your party, all because you wanted a fucking theme. And it's like, I get people have fun. They like the theme. I guess I would just decline the theme party if I don't have the attire for the theme party. But like, what's the point of the theme party rather than like, I want to gather everyone for a picture because of the theme party? Or like, I guess I just don't understand the sense of the theme party.
I fucking love a theme party.
Of course you do.
Oh my God. I was going to have a theme party this year for my birthday, but it's not like you were coming anyway.
Well, what's your theme? Like,
well, I wanted everyone to be wearing pink.
oh, I mean, I can do that. That's fine. That's doable.
My 20th birthday theme was surfer bros and hula hose. I think. I'll send you pictures. It was a mess. I blacked out early in the night and then woke up and like came back to consciousness like when the party was over and I started crying. I was like, no one came to my party. And my roommates were like, so many people came to your party. Our house is fucking destroyed and we hate you. There's holes in the walls. You were dancing on the countertops. There's vomit everywhere. And I was like, people came? And they were like, you're done, bitch. Go to bed. I was dressed like a slutty hula girl.
Of course you are. Today's episode is also supported by Honey. We all shop online, and we've seen that promo code filled taunt us at checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is a free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. It supports over 30,000 stores online that range from tech to gaming products to popular fashion brands and even food delivery. So imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you go to checkout, the Honey button drops down and all you have to do is click apply coupons. You wait a few seconds and Honey searches for the coupons it can for that site and applies it, and the price drops. This helped me a lot during the Christmas holiday season because, you know, when you're shopping online, you save a bunch of money. I bought my sister a hairdryer and I literally saved $30 just for having Honey installed. So if you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's free, like I said, and you can install it in a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing us a solid by supporting this podcast, and we'd never recommend something that we don't use. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/sip. That's joinhoney.com/sip. Okay, Elizabeth Gordon.
Something else you don't care about.
Yeah, something, but I'll let you go for it because I think a lot of people do.
And I think I'm alone in my upset. So the Harry Potter reunion aired. 20 years of Harry Potter since the movies. They had the directors come back. Well, they had the first director come back, and they had a majority of the big cast come back. And it was very sweet to watch them be together. But hearing and seeing the snippets of the behind the scenes and like hearing the cast talk about the coming of age shit that they went through and like the games that they used to play and knowing that they had all the behind the scenes footage in the world, I would have preferred to see more of that than of clips from the movies that I could quote from beginning to finish. You know what I mean?
Interesting. So they were repurposing.
Yeah, like they had montages from the actual movies that played. And I was like, well, this is a waste of space. And they've crammed so much history into like such a brief amount of time that it felt like being rushed through every topic, being rushed through every story. And that kind of bummed me out because I'm so invested in this world, like the pretend world of Harry Potter, that it would have been so great and so cool to get to have more of the behind the scenes, like origin stories of the birth of these characters from the work of these actors at that time, which they have. So
And
that was my takeaway, but everyone else was sobbing and loved it. So I guess I'm just a Scrooge.
Interesting. So it didn't give you what the Friends reunion gave me, which was everything I could have wanted, and I thought it was produced fantastic.
See, I also had qualms with the Friends reunion because I felt like those weird games they played were unnecessary. Like, the cast, again, has so much story, so much history, that I don't need to play some weird guessing game like charades or whatever with the crew, with the cast to like have these stories told. Like, I'd much more appreciate an organic conversation between, you know, the individuals who put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. So that's, yeah. But, you know, again, like I am but one person in a sea of many.
And you can't please anyone or everyone when you're doing something of that caliber that affected that many people who grew up on this world, you know?
Yeah.
I do think that is something I want to do, is go in and watch all those movies.
I'll do it with you.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll be in California soon.
Oh my God. And I'll bring a Lego set, but I'm not going to share it with you because I don't like sharing. But I'll build it next to you.
I'll order a different one and you can take it home with you as well.
Well, the fun for me is making it, and then I display it in my office, and I'm going to get all the lighting kits off Amazon so that they light up. And James is building me a shelving unit. It's going to be cute and crazy.
Wow. No, I like that for you.
The other thing is, like, I've always hated the girl who played Jenny Weasley, and her name is like Bonnie something, but I hated her because I wasn't her, because I always wanted to be Jenny. And recently I made James watch all the videos with me for Harry Potter also. He's like, why didn't you play Jenny? And I was like, great fucking question. Been asking it all my life. And then I was like hate stalking the actress who played Ginny Weasley. And that bitch has a YouTube where she cooks.
Really?
Yes. Pull the rug out for me again, fucking body. See if I care, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, so my God. What's going on with that?
My cooking show?
Yeah.
I bought an apron that you accused me of stealing from your house, which I did not do.
I literally did. Because and is it that out of character on her way to my house today? She goes, and by the way, I'm taking the end tables today, which I did offer those to you. I am saying, but like, yeah, you were like, turn off the alarm so I can steal your shit.
Yeah. So I bought an apron. I recorded a get ready with me to introduce the channel, and like, y'all, this is hard and demoralizing.
Well, now that it's the new year, because I had told you to wait too, because we didn't have SIP episodes going up, we had pre-recorded things, but I think we could revisit like what you're doing with all of that once I get out there, because I think we might stay there for a little chunk of time, so we can be together for a while.
I'll have Joe export the get ready with me so you can see what I'm talking about, but it's like, I don't know if it's funny or if it's just like, oh God, help this woman. Like, somebody pray for her that she finds something settling inside, because she is uneasy.
Well, I'll have to watch it before I can make a judgment.
And then after I did that, I decided to sort of change the format of it. So I was originally going to do like a live cook with me, but now I don't think I'm going to go live because of realizing how much I had to edit out of the get ready with me to make it engaging and still being curious as to whether or not it is engaging.
And then you're stuck in, it's hard to create content that's compelling and the people that can go live and hold a crowd is very,
my hat is off.
Yes.
Yes. It is. If I knew how to work this soundboard, I'd play the round of applause. Do I have the sound effects?
I don't know. Oh my God.
I do. Oh my God. Does this end of its own?
Lizze cooking. I would turn it off. I think that's like
how
a minute
do I make
long.
it stop?
Press it again.
Okay, cool.
Okay, pick your best things from the rest of the list.
Wait, but there's so many. Can I just do them really fast?
Yeah, let's do a rapid fire version of it.
Okay, here's the rapid fire version, because no one gives a fuck about this, but a lot of people give a fuck about this. Kanye West, Ye, the artist presently known as Ye, has a docuseries coming to Netflix. And
wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Is it about him moving in next to his wife and then hitting up that new girl to like do a publicity relationship stunt?
What the fuck? You know that girl has a podcast, and on her podcast, she was like, I'm a huge fan of the Kardashians. Like, I want them to be part of my family.
I did hear of that. Yes, I haven't listened to it myself.
That's some stalker shit.
Well, and she's also
That's like if
been
my
linked to
sister
Pete
started
Davidson.
dating JoJo. Yeah.
It's all very weird, and to think that Kanye was begging for her and his family back just a week or two ago to then go do because these were
Kim K
calculated
knockoff.
photos. It's not like some iPhone photos. They
No.
did the whole shebang after they
And
had
she
just met.
sold a story. She sold a story about their love affair, which is 6 days old. Or wait, how old is it today?
I think
It's 10 days old.
in on that. They did a professional photo shoot. There's no way he didn't know that was going up. I don't think she sold him out. I think he got what he wanted. But he's also doing a collaboration with Balenciaga and The Gap, which I'm excited about. But back to your docuseries on Netflix.
Toast?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I learned that on the toast also. Shout out, girls. Another rapid fire is Chrissy Teigen's new face.
Whoa. I didn't even. So what's the docuseries about on Netflix?
Oh, it's 21 years in the making. It's just like Ye's origin story to now, I guess. I think, and because it's a series, it's multiple parts, and I guess he's been filming all his life.
No.
So
Okay.
I think it'll be cool. It'll be like an archival thing. I'm into it. Now, moving on, Chrissy Teigen's face also has a connection to the Kardashians because the majority of the internet is saying she looks like Khloe, and they're not wrong.
Is this a new? Is it a new happening?
Yes, she literally just premiered her face, and I don't remember
where did she premiere her face?
On Instagram. Or no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Twitter. Oh no, it was Instagram.
Oh, here we go.
Fresh cut. I know the
apparently-
snip, snap. But it's like, this is a new face. I can't tell. Can you see? I'm not looking at myself. I'm about to start.
No, I can't see it, but I'm sure they can on the video just because it's blurry right now. But that's interesting. Is it what part of the face? Is it like the nose?
It's a
Because I
few
feel like
parts. So
Oh my
I heard a plastic surgeon talking about maybe a brow, not lift, but it's like a brow. They changed like a whatever. They've reaggregated the brows. They've added something to the chin. Her lips have been newly plumped. It's just it's a different face. I don't know how to say it's a different face.
I mean, good for them. However they feel happiest, I feel happy for them as well. You know, like I don't know. As long as they're living their best lives, my heart goes out to Khloe. The girl's been through it with.
Well, fuck him. Like, I don't even want to say his name on our podcast. He doesn't deserve our acknowledgments.
Yeah. All right.
Really quickly. So basically, the conclusion of the Chrissy Teigen thing for me is like, I feel like the elephant in the room is, yes, I changed my face, and isn't it fucking great? And like, for me, I'm more comfortable when I call those things out. Like when I let someone know, like I'd rather have someone listening to me than picking apart my face, wondering what procedures I've had done. So, and we're going to come back to that in a moment after I talk about the fact that Will Smith farted while training with the Miami Dolphins.
And it was documented.
Yeah, it's on his Instagram. So he's like in your fart position, like rolling out his muscles on this thing. And he just rips one like it's loud. And then he starts saying, "Oh, sorry about this." Like, and it just killed me for him to be like, what is that? Like, sorry about this. Like, what do you mean this? Like that?
Well,
like, oh, sorry about that. Like, what do you mean this? Like, it's just such a funny phrase from a person who's just like a little...
You never know how you're going to react when public humiliation happens like that. Like, some of my favorite things to do are go back and watch like people farting on live TV. Like Wendy Williams has done it so many times. And there are clips that keep on giving. Like, it's just because it's humiliating. And it's like, how does one react after one slipped, you know?
Right. But like, and that is the question. But for me, Ryland, you must react. If you rip ass in a public setting, you gotta fucking say something like, "Ah, that was awful." And it's like, and I think you gotta do it with like humor, because I was with a girl one time at summer camp, and she fucking ripped ass gnarly, and she went, "Me tummy hurts," and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, we have to have empathy in this moment when all we want to do is laugh about the farts. Like, why did you say my tummy hurts like that? So just like I think we need to call out our face reconstruction, we also need to call out our farts.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, Chrissy Teigen doesn't hit or be, in my mind, somebody that doesn't cop up to her surgeries. So I feel like she probably will if she hasn't already.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just thought this new one was not enough to get people thinking. I don't know. Who knows?
Brow implants. That's what it was called. I couldn't remember the word for it, but brow implants is what somebody said.
Are they removable? Because like brows, if I've learned anything about fashion, is I don't know what a good or bad brow is, but I've learned that they change drastically over the years, and what's in is out is in again. And it's like, don't do anything permanent to your brows, ladies.
Yeah, this is something that I talk about in my Get Ready With Me. I like a natural brow because no matter what, your brow's going to go out of fucking style. So all you girls out here in these streets laminating your shit now, in 2 months, you're going to look back on your laminated brow pictures and feel like a silly goose.
And if you pluck them out of control too, they might not grow back at some point, and then you're going to be like, oh shit. I always think, well, I mean, to each their own. Do whatever you want to do with your bodies. And
it's not like you and I have great brows, but we're never going to look back at a picture and be like, well, fuck that brow trend. And last but not least, I have my first TikTok conspiracy theory of 2022.
And are you going to make a video on it?
No. It's not my theory. It's someone else's theory that I've fallen for on TikTok.
Okay.
And so, like, previously I've been stressed out about lizard people because of TikTok and, like, David Politis and, like, missing 411 and, like, all that stuff. This is just, like, a PSA. If anybody ever asks you to shit on a piece of paper, don't do it. They're reptilian and they're trying to steal your identity. My audience, I implore you, never shit on paper for a stranger.
I don't know
or a
how
person you know.
Could...
It could be someone you know. Sorry.
I don't know how one could convince me to do that. Like, you'd have to have a really good sales pitch.
Well, there's a David Politis clip going around the internet right now about a boy who's like, my grandma took me into this cave and was like, boy, I need you to shit on this paper. And he was like, but I don't have to poop, Nana. The reveal is that wasn't his grandma. That was a fucking reptilian looking like his grandma so that they could collect his poop on this paper and then also take his physical form. So never shit on paper for even someone you know and love. It's a weird request to begin with.
You always learn something new when you listen to The Sip. And...
So here's the first conspiracy.
Oh my god, that's not even the theory?
No, I was just reminding you that I have these things. So anyways, the one that I heard recently that I'm really falling for is that the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth is already dead. R.I.P. Queen. The firm, which is what they call the organization that runs the royal family, is lying about the fact that she's already dead because they want her to be the first royal to have worn the crown for 70 years. Which is like a benchmark for the family. So I don't know.
Has she been seen publicly?
There's been some weird things about her public sightings. So it's like she hasn't done a lot of the things that she's normally done. And
I mean, she's also getting older.
Well, she's 95.
I don't know if I'm on board with this one.
Well, the good news is they believe the TikTok conspiracy is that they're going to announce her death in February. So we don't have to wait too long for this to come to a conclusion.
About somebody's death. Oh my god.
No, I know it's dark. It's dark. But so is shitting on a piece of paper so your Nana can steal your fucking physical form because she's a reptilian.
On the royal family, I do want to say I did watch the Princess Diana movie with Kristen Stewart, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I loved it. Okay. I thought her performance was incredible, and I really did a deep dive into a lot of Diana's interviews after the fact, and I thought Kristen Stewart, I like fell in love with Kristen Stewart through the process of this movie, and then watching her talk about this movie and her process, which is never something I've felt toward Kristen Stewart before. Not that I've never disliked her. I just I found a new love for her, and I really like how she approached this movie and how they weren't. I just really liked it. I enjoyed it. So if you're looking for an Oscar-y type, it's a little like slow, but I think it's worth it.
I'm going to watch it. And I wasn't going to before.
Wow. All right. Well, I loved your conspiracy theories. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we will not be remote next week. I mean, come on. We've got to be...
We've got to be together.
Up
We've got to
and
be
moving,
hiking.
you know?
We've got to be living. Oh, man. Has my hair been like this the whole time?
I don't know. You've been blurry on my end. We appreciate your love and support. I hope that you're having a better start to the new year than we were. And we love you so much. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at The Sip Official. We're also on there personally. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
And that's
The Sip. Did you forget about the?
No, it's the
No,
lag.
you
that
always
we've talked
you're trying to
about.
play with the delay, but that doesn't work. You just got to go for it.
No, but
So we'll
you
go
don't
right
go
now.
for it, so I was waiting
No,
for you to go for it.
No,
All right,
no, no,
we're
no,
just
no,
gonna
you
do it.
weren't.
Just take your headphones off, and it'll
Okay.
be more in sync. Just take your headphones off, and
All
we'll
right.
go. Okay.
And okay,
Wait, no, we gotta count it down, you crazy bitch. Okay.
come on.
And that's
And
the sit.
that's the sit. I think we did it.
It was so off on my end. I'll call you.
Toodles.